The day before our wedding, I discovered my fiancée's maid of honor was actually her secret wife from 5 years ago. I said nothing, just canceled the wedding and contacted an attorney. When both women showed up at my door together, demanding answers, I, 33 male, honestly still can't believe I'm typing this. The wedding was supposed to happen tomorrow. Instead, I'm sitting in my apartment surrounded by boxes of someone else's belongings, drinking bourbon at lunchtime, wondering how the hell I got here. 3 years with my fiancée. 3 years of thinking I'd found the one. We met at a friend's housewarming party, hit it off over mutual hatred of IPAs and love of true crime podcasts. Moved in together after about a year. She's a graphic designer, freelance mostly. I do commercial property management. Normal people doing normal things. Her maid of honor flew in from out of state about a week ago. College bestie, supposedly. They went to art school together, stayed close even though they lived far apart. I'd met her exactly twice before. Once on video call when my fiancé was showing me photos from college, once very briefly at our engagement party where she seemed quiet and a little standoffish. Whatever. Not everyone's a social butterfly. My fiancé was beyond excited to have her here for wedding prep. They'd been inseparable since she arrived. Dress fittings, vendor meetings, late nights, catching up over wine. I figured it was normal best friend stuff before a wedding. Then yesterday happened. Working from home, catching up on paperwork. My fiancé and the maid of honor were out doing final venue walkthrough stuff. Her laptop was on the kitchen table, pinging notifications every few minutes. She'd asked me before leaving to check if the florist had sent over the final invoice. Opened her email, found the florist invoice, but there was this folder in her sidebar I'd never noticed before. Just called a personal. Weird label. Something in my gut twisted. Look, I'm not proud of what I did next, but I clicked it. 5 years of emails between her and the maid of honor. And they weren't talking like old college buddies catching up. They were talking like people in a relationship. Long-term relationship, like married people. Because they were married, legally married, had been for 5 years, apparently right after graduating. I'm talking anniversary emails. Can't believe it's been 3 years since we got married. Pet names. Very explicit photos that I really wish I could unsee. Financial discussions about maintaining 2 separate residences because of family expectations. References to when we can finally be open about us. Then I found the email from when I proposed, right after she said yes to me. The maid of honor had written, "So you're really doing this? Marrying him?" My fiancé's response still makes my stomach turn. "It's not forever. You know my parents will cut me off if I don't settle down with a guy. He's stable, he's got a good job, he won't ask too many questions. We just ride this out for a few years, build up some assets, then I can divorce him and we'll finally have the financial security to be together openly. You're my real wife, he's just the insurance policy." Insurance policy. 3 years of my life. Insurance policy. I sat there reading email after email, plans they'd made, how they'd keep up the charade. References to my salary, my benefits, my retirement accounts, how she'd position herself to get maximum payout in an eventual divorce. My hands shook taking screenshots. Downloaded the entire folder to a USB drive. Took me maybe 20 minutes to document everything, though it felt like hours. Put the laptop back exactly where I found it. Walked to my office. Closed the door, just stood there. The hurt was intense. The anger was worse. But underneath both was this weird crystal clarity, like my brain just shifted into practical mode while the emotional stuff was still processing. Started making calls. My attorney first. Guy who handled my commercial lease reviews, but I knew he did family law too. Sent him the evidence while on the phone. He was quiet for a long minute. Then, "Don't confront her. Not yet. This is fraud, potentially bigamy if she went through with marrying you while still married. Let me review this and call you back within the hour. Don't tip your hand." Next call was the venue. Cancelled. Manager tried to convince me to just postpone, offering alternative dates. I kept repeating, family emergency, cannot proceed, need to cancel immediately. Lost the deposit, didn't care. Then the caterer, the photographer, the band, the florist, hotel room blocks, transportation service. One by one, canceled everything. Most were sympathetic once I said family emergency. A few were annoyed about losing their date. Cost me close to 20 grand in deposits. Worth every penny. My attorney called back. This is solid evidence of fraud and bigamy. I'm drafting letters right now. Do not engage with her. Pack her belongings, change your locks today, and document absolutely everything. I'll have paperwork ready by tomorrow. Called a locksmith. $300 for same-day emergency service. My fiancée came home that evening, all smiles, talking about how perfect everything looked at the venue, how her maid of honor was so helpful, how excited she was for tomorrow. I ordered Thai food. We ate dinner. She chattered about last-minute details and seating arrangements. I made appropriate responses. Inside, I was numb. She went to bed early, said she needed beauty sleep for tomorrow. I stayed up. Locksmith arrived late, installed new locks. Then I started packing. Every piece of clothing, every toiletry, every knick-knack, her laptop, her tablet, everything. Boxed it all up and stacked it in the spare bedroom. Left my attorney's letter on top. Detailed everything. Evidence of existing marriage, fraudulent engagement, legal action for fraud and return of wedding expenses. Demand to remove belongings within 48 hours. I maybe slept 2 hours on the couch. Morning came. Heard her alarm go off. Heard her moving around. Then the bedroom door opened. Long silence. What is this? She was standing in the hallway holding the letter, face pale. Need to talk, she said, voice shaking. Actually, we don't. You went through my private emails? That's completely illegal. Can't make this up. You're married to someone else. Committed fraud. Get out. That marriage isn't real. It was just for insurance when we graduated. The emails say different. Your stuff's packed. You've got 2 days. Tea won't work anymore. She tried the crying thing. Please, let me just explain. It's not what you think. Oh, so you're not married to your maid of honor? You weren't planning to divorce me in a few years after maxing out your financial gain? I'm not an insurance policy? Her face went from pale to flushed. Caught. I can't believe you'd violate my privacy like this. And I can't believe you'd commit bigamy, but here we are. Leave. This is my home too. Lease is in my name. You're not on it. Legally, you're a guest who's overstayed. My attorney confirmed it. 2 days to get your stuff out. I'm calling the police. Be my guest. Explain to them that your boyfriend found out you're married to someone else. She grabbed her phone, ran into the bedroom. Door slam. Could hear her on the phone, voice rising and falling. I made coffee. Waited. She emerged an hour later with an overnight bag. Mascara smeared, eyes red. You'll regret this. I already regret the last 3 years. Doors that way. She left. I updated the building's access system, informed the concierge she was no longer authorized, then sent a group text to immediate family and close friends. Weddings canceled. Can't explain right now, I'm fine. Please don't contact her. My mom called within minutes. What on earth happened? She's been married to someone else for 5 years. Just found out yesterday. Silence. Then, you're joking. Really wish I was. My sister just texted, what? Helpful. Update 1. The wedding was supposed to be yesterday. Instead, I spent the day watching my ex-fiancée and her actual wife try to intimidate me into backing down. After I kicked her out, the blowback started immediately. Her parents called. Her dad trying to sound diplomatic. Son, I'm sure there's been a misunderstanding. Let's all sit down and talk this through like adults. Your daughter is legally married to her maid of honor and has been for 5 years. She was planning to commit bigamy. There's no misunderstanding. Silence. Then that's a serious accusation. It's documented fact. Check with her. He hung up. My ex started texting from numbers I didn't recognize. I'd blocked her main one. You're destroying my life over nothing. Everyone thinks I'm a monster now. Just talk to me face to face. You owe me that much after 3 years. Blocked each number as they came. I owed her exactly nothing. Then came the day that should have been my wedding. I was trying to work from home, attempting to focus on anything other than the disaster my life had become, when the front desk called up. Sir, there are 2 women here insisting they need to see you. Should I send them up? Who are they? Your ex-fiancée and another woman. They're being quite persistent. Part of me wanted to say no, but honestly, I wanted to see them try to justify this mess. Sure, send them up. I left my door ajar and waited. Heard the elevator ding. Then there they were, my ex and her wife, standing together in my hallway like some kind of united front. The wife was dressed in casual jeans and a hoodie. My ex had clearly tried to dress up. Maybe thought today was still her wedding day. My ex spoke first. "Can we please come in and talk?" "Nope, hallway works fine." The wife stepped forward. "Look, there's clearly been some kind of misunderstanding. You married her 5 years ago. I got engaged to her 8 months ago. She was planning to go through with marrying me while still married to you. Where exactly is the misunderstanding?" "It's way more complicated than that," my ex cut in. "Is it?" "Yes. That marriage was for practical reasons. Health insurance, financial benefits. It wasn't supposed to be permanent. Funny because the emails where you call each other wife and plan your future together suggest otherwise." The wife's eyes went wide. "Wait, what emails?" Oh, this was getting good. My ex shot her a panicked look. "I told you he went through my private." "What do you mean, call each other wife?" The wife was staring at my ex now. "You told me you explained everything to him, that he knew about us and was okay with it." I actually laughed. "She told you I knew?" "She said you were fine with her being married to me, that you guys had some kind of arrangement." My ex's face was turning red. "That's not exactly what I—" "So you lied to both of us," I said. "Quality person you are." The wife rounded on her. "You told me this was all above board, that he knew about us and didn't care. You were really just going to marry him and not tell either of us the truth?" "My parents were going to cut me off, you know that. I needed—" "Needed what? His money? His benefits?" The wife was practically yelling now. "You told me we were solid, that this was just until your parents backed off. We are solid, I love you. He's just—" "Just what? Just the guy funding your life while you lied to everyone?" They started really going at it, right there in my hallway. Voices rising, accusations flying. I leaned against my doorframe and watched the implosion. Finally interrupted. "Fun as this is, why are you actually here?" My ex turned back to me, tears streaming. "You need to tell people the truth. Tell everyone it was a mistake. Your family, our friends, they all think I'm some kind of con artist." "You literally are, though." "I'm not. I loved you. Love you. This is all just a huge—" "You loved my stable income. Let's not confuse things." The wife actually scoffed. "That's all she talks about. Your apartment, your salary, your benefits package." "Shut up!" My ex actually screamed, full volume. Heard my neighbor's door crack open, then quickly shut. I stepped back. "We're done here. Don't come back." "My laptop." My ex lunged forward. "I need it. All my work files are on it. It's with your other stuff, in boxes. So let me in to get it." "Nope. Contact my attorney to arrange pickup. His info's on the letter I gave you." "That's insane. Just let me grab my laptop. You lied to me for 3 years and were planning to commit bigamy. I don't trust you anywhere near my apartment." The wife grabbed her arm. "This is pointless. Let's go." But my ex planted her feet. "I'm not leaving without my things." I pulled out my phone. "Then I'm calling the police for trespassing." "Trespassing? I was going to marry you. You're already married. To her." Pointed at the wife. "So legally you have zero claim to anything here. Leave or I call the cops." Started dialing. The wife physically dragged my ex toward the elevator. Could hear her still protesting as the doors closed. Went back inside, locked everything, poured a drink even though it was barely noon. My attorney called maybe an hour later. "Your ex left me an interesting voicemail, threatening to sue for return of her belongings, also claiming you illegally accessed her email." "Can she?" "On the email thing, you were in your own residence, using a computer in a shared living space, looking for business correspondence she asked you to check. We can argue reasonable access. More importantly, she'd have to admit to bigamy to press charges. Mutually assured destruction." "So what now?" "I'm demanding return of your financial contributions. Wedding deposits, gifts you bought her, everything. Probably won't recover it all, but we'll try." "How much we talking?" "You said roughly $35,000 in deposits and direct costs." "About that, yeah." "I'll demand 50. Leaves negotiation room, plus compensation for fraud." "She's broke. Freelance designer, barely making anything. Her parents aren't broke. They'll pay to make this go quietly." Made sense. That evening her friends started messaging. The narrative was wild. "Can't believe you're being cruel over a misunderstanding. She made one mistake and you're ruining her entire life. You're blowing up a college marriage that didn't mean anything." Responded to one. "She's currently married to someone else and was planning to marry me anyway. That's not a mistake. That's fraud. Maybe ask her what really happened. Got blocked immediately. Whatever. Anyone buying her story without asking questions wasn't someone I needed. The really fun part? Wedding gifts started arriving. Nothing says awkward like returning wedding gifts when there's no wedding. My mom's been helping with that at least. She's been solid through all this. Keeps asking if I'm okay. Honest answer? Not really. But I will be. My ex's harassment didn't stop. New numbers texting at all hours. Voicemails from her friends saying I was cruel and heartless. Her mom left a message crying about how I was destroying her baby's life. Blocked everything. Documented everything. My attorney was building quite the file. Update 2. About 2 weeks after the canceled wedding, things got significantly worse before they got better. My attorney sent the demand letter to my ex and her parents. Itemized. Venue deposit, catering, photographer, the honeymoon package I'd paid for in full, various gifts over the years that she kept, and damages for fraud and emotional distress. Total demand, $50,000. Her dad called my attorney's office the next day. Not to negotiate, to scream. Left a 5-minute voicemail about harassment, extortion, and how dare we demand money for a mutual decision to end the engagement. My attorney just added it to evidence. Then my ex decided to escalate. Filed a police report claiming I'd stolen her property and was holding it hostage. 2 cops showed up one evening. I showed them my attorney's letter stating she could collect her belongings with legal representation present. Showed them my lease proving she had no legal residence claim. Mentioned the whole "she's married to someone else" situation. The younger cop looked uncomfortable. The older one sighed deeply. "Ma'am's gonna need to handle this through attorneys. This is civil." They left. Apparently my ex had a meltdown at the station, demanding they arrest me for theft. They declined. But she wasn't done. Started calling my office. I manage commercial properties for a small firm, maybe 20 employees total. She called the main line repeatedly asking for me. When they stopped transferring her calls, she asked for my supervisor. Got through eventually. Told him I was mentally unstable and possibly dangerous, and he should check on my well-being because I was going through a psychotic break. My boss called me in. "Got a strange call from someone claiming to be your ex. Want to fill me in?" Explained the whole situation. Showed him evidence, the marriage certificate records I'd pulled, the email screenshots, the timeline. He was quiet for a minute. "That's completely insane. She's trying to get me fired." "Yeah, I see that. Don't worry about it. If she calls again, we're documenting it as harassment and blocking the number." Then came the really dirty tactic. The wife posted on social media. Long post about abusive men who can't handle their partners having female friendships, and controlling behavior disguised as love. Didn't name me directly, but it was obvious. Comments poured in supporting her. Got tagged indirectly in several shares by mutual acquaintances. My sister saw it first. Called me furious. "Are you seeing this garbage? Ignoring it. She's making you sound like an abuser." Anyone who knows the real story knows the truth. But my brother wasn't having it. Commented before I could stop him. "Interesting how you're married to his ex-fiancée and helped her commit fraud, but he's the controlling one." The post vanished within an hour. But enough people had seen it. Questions started circulating. My ex's parents got desperate. Their attorney called mine with a settlement offer. $8,000 to drop everything and sign an NDA. "They're lowballing hard," my attorney told me. "They know they're in trouble." Counter? "I'm thinking $25,000 and no NDA. You shouldn't have to sign away your right to talk about what happened to you." Do it. The counter went out. Silence for days. Then their attorney came back. $15,000, but the NDA is mandatory. "They want to buy your silence," my attorney said. "Your call on this." I sat with it for a day. The money wasn't really the point. I made decent money, had savings, but the NDA made my stomach turn. They wanted to pay me to shut up so they could keep spinning whatever narrative they wanted. Reject it. No NDA. "You sure? This could drag out months." "I'm sure." We rejected it. That's when the universe threw me a curveball. Got a call from an unknown number. Almost didn't answer, but I was expecting vendor refund calls. "This is going to sound completely crazy, but I'm engaged to your ex-fiancée's wife." My brain short-circuited. "What? Yeah, we've been together about 8 months, engaged for 3. She told me she was divorced from some college mistake. Then I saw that social media post she made and started digging. Found out she's still married to your ex, who is apparently engaged to you. Are you serious right now? Completely. So I figured you might want to know there's another person these two screwed over, and I'm extremely pissed. We talked for over an hour. Turns out the wife had been running her own scam. Still married to my ex, but dating this other woman. Told her the marriage was over, that her ex was just a friend. Accepted a proposal. Started planning a wedding. The other woman, call her the other fiancée, had evidence too. Ring receipts, venue deposits, text messages about their future together. What are you doing about it? I asked. Same thing you did. Canceled the wedding. Kicked her out. But I'm thinking we should compare notes on these two. We met for coffee. She brought printed emails, bank statements, screenshots. Her situation was eerily similar to mine. Promises and lies and financial entanglement. You going after her legally? Absolutely. And I'm not signing anything that stops me from talking about it. We exchanged information. She was filing her own fraud claim. The pattern was crystal clear now. My ex and her wife were both professional liars, each running cons on other people while maintaining their secret marriage as home base. 2 days later, my attorney called. Interesting development. The other fiancée contacted your ex's parents' lawyer with her own demands. They're now looking at fraud claims from 2 people, potential bigamy charges that could actually stick, and their daughter's wife's separate exposure. And they want to settle. New offer, $30,000, no NDA, and a written admission from your ex that she misrepresented her marital status. Admission in writing? Yep. They know they can't win this anymore. They're trying damage control before it gets even worse. What's the catch? You agree not to pursue criminal bigamy charges. That's a felony here. They want immunity from that. I thought about it. 30 grand wouldn't cover everything, but it was substantial. The written admission was huge. Documentation if anyone questioned my story. And honestly, I didn't want to spend the next year in court. Counter at 35 and I'll take it. Done. They accepted the same day. Papers drawn up within a week. But the other fiancée? She went full scorched earth, filed fraud charges, contacted the DA about bigamy prosecution. Everything. My ex and her wife apparently turned on each other completely. Mutual friends said they were fighting constantly, each blaming the other for everything falling apart. The wife moved out of wherever she was staying, disappeared. My ex's mom left me a crying voicemail begging for compassion and understanding about her daughter's mistake. Deleted without listening all the way through. Final update, signed the settlement papers last week. $35,000 hit my account yesterday morning. It's not everything I lost, not even close when you factor in emotional damage and 3 wasted years. But it's something substantial. The written admission was the real win, though. 1 page notarized, signed by my ex. I misrepresented my marital status to my name. At the time of our engagement, I was legally married to another individual and intentionally failed to disclose this information. This caused significant financial and emotional harm. My attorney kept copies. I've got one in my safe deposit box. If anyone ever questions what happened, I've got it from her own hand. The other fiancé followed through on criminal complaints. Last I heard, the DA is actually investigating. Bigamy's a felony here. Serious prison time potentially. Whether they'll prosecute is unclear, but the investigation alone has wrecked my ex's life. Her graphic design business collapsed. Turns out, when you're under investigation for fraud and bigamy, clients get nervous. She lost multiple contracts. Her parents are still bankrolling her, but word through mutual friends is they're exhausted with the entire situation. The wife fled to another state, just vanished. The other fiancé is pursuing her civil suit, but good luck serving papers to someone actively hiding. My ex tried one last contact. Showed up at my building a few days ago. Front desk called. She's in the lobby asking to come up. If she doesn't leave immediately, call the police for trespassing. She left. Haven't heard anything since. Life's different now. Moved out of that apartment last week. Too many bad memories. Found a smaller place closer to work. Fresh start. Family's been supportive. My brother still makes jokes about it constantly, but it's his way of coping. Mom helped me move. Wouldn't take money for anything. Said she just wanted to make sure I was settled properly. Dating isn't on my mind yet. Probably won't be for a while. Hard to trust people when someone you plan to marry was running a long con the entire time. Therapy's helping. Therapist says feeling both relief and grief simultaneously is normal. Relief I escaped, grief for the relationship I thought I had. Work's actually been good. That commercial deal I was distracted from during all this. Closed it finally. Good commission on that. Boss gave me a bonus too. Most wedding gifts got returned. My college roommate sent expensive whiskey with a note for dodging that bullet. Kept that one. Ran into one of her friends recently. She actually apologized. I didn't know the real story. She said you were controlling and couldn't handle her having a close friend. I should have asked you directly. She's convincing. Scary convincing. Yeah, the financial hit still stings. Wedding costs, settlement being less than I spent, moving expenses, attorney fees, probably down about 15 grand all told. But I've got my career, my health, and I'm not married to someone actively defrauding me. Her parents sent the strangest thank you note with the settlement check. Thank you for your discretion in this matter. Like I did them a favor by not pressing criminal charges. I'm not grateful for this experience. Not doing the toxic positivity thing about lessons learned. This situation was awful. It hurt. It cost me. But I'm grateful I found out before actually marrying her. Before kids, joint assets, years of legal entanglement. The timing sucked, but it could have been worse. Found the original wedding planning folder in my email the other day. Guest lists, vendor contracts, the whole timeline. Just deleted it without reading. That life doesn't exist. This is life now. Single, cautious, rebuilding. Not what I planned, but it's honest. To people asking if I regret exposing her, absolutely not. She made choices, fraudulent choices. She committed fraud and planned bigamy while using me for financial stability. She earned every consequence. To the few saying I went too far, you're wrong. To my ex, if you hate reading this, I hope the investigation goes poorly. I hope everyone eventually sees who you really are. As for me, done with this chapter. Got a life to rebuild.